My name is Katie. I am a reference librarian at the Worcester branch of the Wayne County Public Library. And today I am here to review and tell you about my favorite read of 2022, and that is The Hacienda by Isabel Cañas. And I know I have another month and a half to find another top read. I will try, but I think I may call it with this as the winner. So our story centers around Beatriz. Her father has been killed during the Mexican War of Independence, which leaves Beatriz and her mother, due to his politics largely, alone and without money. So they are forced to move in with some not as nice family members that use them for household work. And it's just kind of a cruel and not great situation. So Beatrice is very determined to get first herself and then her mother out of this home where they're not very happy. And she does this by marrying Don Rudolfo. So he is a powerful politician and he is looking for a second wife. His first wife has passed away. And so he's very handsome. She's excited about that. And she knows it's not a love match, but she believes that she's going to get there and is looking forward to having her own life and her own house and her own household staff. And she's not going to be cruel to them like her family members were to her. And things are looking good for Beatrice. Now, the tensions are pretty high because of the war in the capital. So Rudolfo sends her to his countryside estate. It's called Hacienda San Isidro. And it isn't quite what she was expecting when she first sees it. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. In fact, there's a whole wing that has had some water damage that's closed off. And there are rooms that definitely need refurbished, but she knows she's going to put her whole heart and soul into coming up with plans for making this a beautiful home for her and Rudolfo and maybe their future children, and the parties that she's going to host. So she's ready to go. After Rudolfo leaves, he's with her for a little while, but he leaves, he goes back to the capital to continue his work in politics. That's when both Beatriz and us, the readers, realize that something weird is going on with the Hacienda. It's got a very similar vibe, in my opinion, to The Shining by Stephen King. And the first thing that happens that's creepy is that Beatriz opens a trunk full of these beautiful blue silks that her mother has given her, and she wants those silks so she can match the blue to some of the furnishings she's going to purchase. But when she opens the trunk is full of blood, and these silks are soaked, and she's immediately, of course, horrified, and she thinks it's a household prank, a very cruel household prank, mind you. And so, she gets some help from her sister-in-law Juana. They wash her hands, but for some reason the blood seems to be gone already. So then she goes later to wash the silks, and the silks are not bloody. It's completely fine. So that's the first kind of weird supernatural thing that we are introduced to. And those weird supernatural things keep happening. So she goes on a self tour of, she's going to look around, decide what goes here. Let's get a new couch for this room. Let's get a new carpet for this room, that sort of thing. And she visits that wing that has been closed off, wants to assess the damage, and she sees a dead body in a wall that's been it's crumbled right in front of her, and she runs, of course, to get some help, and the wall is perfectly fine. It hasn't just crumbled. There's no dead bodies. They think she's maybe losing her mind a little, but she keeps interacting with something supernatural, knocking on the walls at night, and weird creepy things that even as a reader you're like, ooh, spooky. Now her servants who live on the estate, as well as her sister-in-law Juana, are pretty close-mouthed about what may be going on. She also keeps getting different stories about the first wife of Don Rudolfo. And so it's kind of a really interesting situation. And since none of her household staff or her sister in law want to help her or give her answers, she decides to take this on by enlisting the help of Padre Andres. He is a local priest and he has his own connections to both the hacienda and to the supernatural world. And it is going to take both Beatriz and Padre Andres together to figure out who and what is going on in this hacienda, and then how are they going to rid the house of this malevolent spirit. Now, the book itself is a bit of a slow burn, which means that it starts a little bit slower and then, like, it gets, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, as you go along. Definitely put in the time to read it if you like horror, if you like spooky, and even if you like just historical fiction, because it does take place in 1820s Mexico, which I feel is underrepresented in historical fiction. This book is atmospheric, and the dynamic between Beatriz and Padre Andres is wonderful. You'll definitely want to read it. So check this out and let me know what you think if you see me in the library, or let me know down in the comments. Thanks for joining me for this book review.